lab. The process of converting AC, alternating current, to direct current. So this is not direct current. Direct current is called rectification. When the alternating current passes through the junction diode, only one diode, it is rectified. Half of the signal is suppressed. Here half of the signal is suppressed. The output rectified current is obtained only for a half of the cycle, for a complete input cycle. So there will be a complete input cycle, we will have only half of the cycle. So we will have only half of the cycle. The rectified output current may be expressed as, so we are going to have the half of the rectifier, y-axis as I and the x-axis as t. So I is a function of t. I is a function of t. Current is in the y-axis. T is in the x-axis. So this is your I of t. Is it okay? I of t. So your complete cycle is nothing but 0 to t. Half cycle is nothing but 0 to t by 2. See, half cycle is 0 to t by 2. Now, you have a signal here, there will be no signal. See, there is no signal here. So 0. Here there is a signal. This signal is nothing but I naught sin omega t for the half of the cycle. 0 to t by 2. So when t lies between 0 and t by 2, so there exists a signal, correct? And 0 elsewhere. So between t by 2 and t, between t by 2 and t, we have 0. So this is the condition. Now, so as I said earlier, we have 0 to t by 2, there exists a signal. Minus t by 2, 0, there is no signal. See, there is no signal. So we are going to have the same condition here. I of t is given by this. Now we know the Fourier series expansion of current is given by this. So this is for DC, A0, constant term, and this is AN is nothing but your cosine term, and BN is nothing but your sine term. The combination of sine and cosine, that will give you Fourier series. So Fourier series. Now the coefficients are given by, the first we will calculate the coefficient A0. So A0 equal to 1 by t times minus t by 2 plus t by 2, correct? Minus t by 2 in this interval. So we have now minus t by 2 plus t by 2. Minus t by 2 plus t by 2, okay? This is a complete cycle. See, in the earlier, 0 to t is a complete cycle, correct? Now here it is minus t by 2 plus t by 2. Minus t by 2, 0, there is no signal, 0. 0 to t by 2, there exists signal. Is it okay? According to the problem. Minus t by 2, 0, 0 to t by 2. For a complete cycle, it will be minus t by 2 plus t by 2. So that's why I written minus t by 2 plus t by 2. Is it okay? I of t dt. Instead of I of t, you just separate now. For this interval, you have to separate I of t for this interval, and you have to separate this one for this interval. So you can separate minus t by 2 plus t by 2 as minus t by 2, 0, 0 to t by 2. Is it okay? So here minus t by 2 plus t by 2, we can separate the limits. Minus t by 2, 0, 0 to t by 2. So 0 to t by 2. Is it okay? And what about I naught in this interval? In this limit, we have 0 here. So this becomes 0. So we are going to integrate only this one. You can pull I naught out. So that becomes I naught divided by t. Integration sin omega t dt, that will give you minus cos n omega t by omega 0 to t by 2. Okay. Now you can substitute, instead of t, you can substitute upper limit. So that becomes omega t divided by 2. So now you have to substitute the lower limit. Already one minus is there. So minus is there. So minus cos 0. So I am going to, omega t is nothing but your 2 pi. I can substitute omega t as 2 pi. So this becomes minus I naught divided by 2 pi. 2 pi divided by 2 will get cancelled. We have cos pi minus cos 0. Okay, so that becomes minus I naught by 2 pi. Cos pi is minus 1. Cos 0 is 1. So minus 1, that will give you minus 2. 1 minus is there. This becomes plus. So answer will be this 2 and this 2 will get cancelled. You have A naught equal to I naught by pi. Any doubt? So we have calculated now A naught. Now we will go for AN. So AN, the formula goes 2 by t minus t by 2 plus t by 2 for a complete cycle. I of t cos n omega t dt. So instead of I of t, you have to substitute I naught sin omega t in this interval and 0 in this interval. Okay. So minus t by 2 plus 2, 0, that limit will be 0. correct? According to the problem, see here, according to the problem, here it is 0. This signal is not there, so this becomes 0 here. And we can have 2 divided by t, 0 to t by t. There exists signal I naught sin omega t. So I naught sin omega t times cos n omega t dt. Cos n omega t as it is in the problem. So we have now 2 times, you pull I naught out. So 2 times I naught divided by t, 0 to t by 2, cos omega t, sorry, sin omega t cos n omega t dt. Okay, now we know the formula. Sin a cos b is given as sin a plus b plus sin a minus c divided by 2. So we know the formula. Okay, so now using this formula, we have a is nothing but 1 here, b is nothing but n. See here you have sin omega t, here it is nothing but sin a is nothing but 1, here b is nothing but n. So according to this formula, this becomes sin 1 plus n omega t plus sin 1 minus n omega t divided by 2. This 2 is there. Now we can easily integrate. 2 will get cancelled. We can integrate now. Sin n plus 1 plus n omega t on integration, that will give you minus cos 1 plus n omega t divided by 1 plus n omega. And integrating this part will give you minus cos 1 minus n omega t divided by 1 minus n omega. Now we can substitute the upper limit and lower limit. So I have written minus sign. Okay, I will remove the minus sign, interchanging the limits. See here, I will remove the minus sign and again interchange the limits. See here. So now this becomes t by 2 to 0. So instead of minus I have written plus here. Instead of minus I have written plus here. But limit I have changed the limit. Now we can substitute the upper limit. So I have written the same thing here. Substituting the upper limit will give you cos 0 is 1. Cos 0 is 1. Okay, 1 minus. Substituting the lower limit will give you, instead of t you have to substitute t by 2. See, t by 2. For the second one, substituting the upper limit will give you cos 0. Cos 0 is 1. Substituting the lower limit will give you t by 2. Is it okay? Now we know that omega t equals to 2 pi. Instead of omega t, you have to substitute 2 pi. So this becomes 2 pi. This 2 and this 2 will get cancelled. So we have cos pi. Similarly here too, 2 pi. We can substitute for 2 pi and this 2 and this 2 will get cancelled. We have cos pi. Is it okay? That's all. So next, I have written the same thing here. Now you just substitute n equals 2 here. Okay, n equals 2 here. So this becomes, instead of see, n equals 2 here. So this becomes 3 pi. See, we will find out first n equal to 2. 1 is here, minus cos 1 plus n. So n becomes now 2. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So cos 3 pi. And here it is nothing but minus 1. 1 minus 2. So minus 1. So this becomes cos minus pi. What is cos 3 pi? Cos 3 pi minus 1. So this becomes plus 1. So 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus n. What is cos of minus theta plus cos theta? So this becomes cos pi is again minus 1. Again minus plus, that will be 1 plus 1, 2. Is it okay? See, cos 3 pi is minus 1. Cos minus theta is plus cos theta. Cos pi is minus 1. So minus plus, that will give you 1 plus 1, 2. Is it okay? I repeat. See, cos 3 pi is minus 1. So instead of cos 3 pi, you substitute minus 1. This becomes 2. Cos minus pi is plus cos pi. Cos pi is minus 1. Minus 1, that will give you plus 1. So 1 plus 1, 2, 1 plus 1, 2. You can pull 2 out. That 2 and this 2 will get cancelled. We have I naught divided by pi. 1 by n plus 1. 1 divided by n minus 1 for all the even numbers. See here, when you are going to substitute for 4, you will get the same answer. When you are going to substitute for the 6, you will get the same answer. For all the even numbers, you will get the same answer. What are for the odd numbers? 1, 3. Just substitute 1 here. 1 plus 1, 2 pi. Cos 2 pi is 0. So when you are going to substitute all the odd numbers, 1, 3, 5 and all, you will get only 0. So that exists only for the even number. A n series exists only for the even number. Is it okay? So this is only for the even number. So now substitute n equal to 2 here. You will have a2 equal to complete n equal to I naught divided by pi, 1 divided by instead of n you just substitute 2 here. This becomes 1 by 3. This becomes minus 1. So this becomes minus 1 by 1. 1 by 3 minus 1, that will give you minus 2 I naught divided by 3 pi. Now substitute for the another even number. Next even number is nothing but 4. So n becomes 4 here. So that becomes 1 plus 4, 1 divided by 5 minus 1 by 3, correct? Minus 1 by 3. That will give you minus 2 I naught divided by 15 pi. Take the LCM. So that will give you this. For n equal to 6, you will get minus 2 I naught divided by 35 pi. So your complete an cosine series becomes, you have to substitute for an. So this an exists only for the even number, not for the odd number. Odd number it is 0. See, odd number it is 0. So only it exists only for the even number. So even number is 2, 4, 6 goes on. So you can have instead of 2, you have to substitute this one, a2. You have to substitute this. And your cos series n becomes 2 here. So that's why I written as cos 2 omega t. Okay, the next will be a equal to 4, that will give you minus 2 I naught divided by 15 pi cos 4 omega t. The next one will be minus 2 I naught divided by 35 pi cos 6 omega t. Okay, now you go for the sine term bn. So bn equal to 2 divided by t minus t by 2 to plus t by 2 I of t sin omega t dt. So we have to separate the intervals. This interval it is 0 and this interval we are going to calculate. We are going to calculate only the second term. Now we are going to use sin a sin b equals cos a minus b plus cos a plus b divided by 2. Your a term is 1 and b term is nothing but n. So here sin n omega t sin omega t sin n omega t, correct? So this is sin a sin b. So instead of a you have to substitute 1, instead of b you have to substitute n. So we have, using this formula, we have 2 I naught by t 0 to t by 2 cos 1 minus n omega t plus cos 1 plus n omega t divided by 2. So integrate, you can integrate separately. So that will give us sin 1 minus n omega t divided by 1 minus n omega t. Integration, this one will give you this. These two and these two will get cancelled. So we have I naught divided by t. I have pulled now omega in the denominator out. So this becomes omega t. Instead of omega t, you can substitute 2 pi here. Now, rest of the term, substituting the upper limit will give you omega t divided by t. Instead of omega t, you can substitute 2 pi. These two and these two will get cancelled. So we have sin 1 minus n pi divided by 1 minus n. Similarly, omega t, you have to substitute 2 pi, 2 will get cancelled. We have 1 plus n pi times divided by 1 plus n. Okay. So now just multiply pi 1 minus n, multiply that will be pi minus n pi, pi minus n pi. And here also we can substitute, we can multiply 1 plus n with pi, that will give you this one, pi plus n pi. We know that sin pi minus n pi is nothing but sin n pi. Sin pi plus n pi also it is sin n pi. Okay, so this becomes exactly like this. Now taking the LCM, just take the LCM. So that will give you 1 minus n squared. So take the LCM, 1 plus n multiplied by sin n pi, 1 minus n multiplied by sin n pi. So we will give you this. So this becomes sin n pi, n times sin n pi. This becomes sin n pi minus n times sin n pi. And this term and this term will get cancelled. This term and this term will become 2 times sin n pi divided by 1 minus n squared, and of course I naught divided by 2 pi is here. Okay, these two and these two will get cancelled. So we have I naught divided by pi times sin n pi divided by 1 minus n squared. If you substitute 1 here, this becomes 0. This will be infinity. So we should not do it. For all other things and all, if we substitute other than 1, this becomes 0 here. For all the other things, because sin pi is 0, correct? Sin pi is 0, sin 2 pi also 0. Okay, so you have to substitute except 1, all the other terms will become 0. So to prove that, 2 I naught divided by 2 times 0 to t by 2 sin n omega t. We are going to substitute here 1 alone. N equals 1. We are going to prove this one, whether it is non-zero or not. Okay. So for n equal to 1 alone. So sin n omega t, instead of n we are going to substitute 1. So this becomes sin omega t, this becomes sin square omega t dt. Integrating sin, we will have to use the formula sin squared omega t dt is nothing but 1 minus cos 2 omega t divided by 2. Now you can integrate. Separately you can integrate. These two and these two will get cancelled. I naught divided by 2, I naught divided by t. We have 1 here. So on integration that will give you t minus cos 2 omega t is nothing but sin 2 omega t divided by 2 omega. Now substitute the upper limit. We will give you sin 2 omega t divided by 2 and these two will get cancelled. Instead of omega t you can substitute 2 pi and here it is t by 2 this side. So we have I naught divided by t times t by 2 minus sin 2 pi divided by 2 omega. Sin 2 pi is 0. Sin 2 pi is 0. So we have now I naught, this t and this t will cancel, I naught divided by 2. So as I said, b1 alone exists. Your b0, b1 is there, b2, b3, b4, all the other terms will become 0. Okay, all the other terms will become 0 when n is not equal to n. When n is equal to n, the answer is I naught by 2. For all the other terms, this becomes 0. So your complete Fourier series will be, you have a naught plus an cos n omega t plus bn sin omega t. As I said earlier, b1 alone exists here. Okay, so a naught, instead of a naught, you have to substitute the obtained value, which is nothing but I naught by pi, and an becomes like this. We have already seen this one. And bn, for bn, only one term exists, it is b1. b1 is nothing but I naught by 2. So n equal to 1. So we have sin omega t, sin omega t. So this is the complete expression for the half wave rectifier for the Fourier series. Thank you.